All right, everybody, welcome back to an episode of 10 Tech Entrepreneurs Nebraska. I'm Grace Kane with the Nebraska Tech Collaborative. Joined with me today is...
I'm Dorothy Johnson, VP of DEI at Gener8tor and In Motion. So happy to be here.
Awesome. Thank you for joining us. So, Dorothy, why don't you just tell me a little bit about yourself, your journey, how you got connected with Scott at InMotion?
Yeah, I'm a Nebraska girl. I'm pro Nebraska, everything, volleyball, football, all of the things. North Omaha, native, born and raised. Went to grade school, North O, then went to Omaha North, and I was an engineering student. But as I progressed in my engineering studies, my classes got less and less and less diverse. So I was like, yeah, this isn't going in the right direction for what I need. So then I switched gears and studied sociology at Grambling State University, a historically Black college, and it was exceptional. So then came back, started my family, and I've done everything. I've done academia, I've done nonprofits, I've done corporate. But when I got to master's school during the pandemic, I said, you know what? How can I serve people in the for-profit space? And then they said, have you met Scott Henderson? I'm like, no, I haven't met Scott Henderson. But I should probably find him. And that's all they wrote.
Awesome. And so you started at InMotion as a program manager?
I started as a program manager. I just needed a break. I needed a good first step into venture capital, into accelerators. And Scott was incredible. He was willing to bet on me, and I thank him every day because it was absolutely life-changing. Like, venture is just a whole new world. I would sing, but I'm not. I would sing, but I'm not. But Scott definitely opened a door, and I definitely ran through it for sure, without doubt.
That's awesome. And so we were kind of talking a little off camera, but so you've been going to Startup Omaha Week?
Startup Week, go us. It's a beautiful thing, to be rubbing elbows with people that we normally see on Zoom calls and emails. So I try to support as much as I can. Sometimes it is tough. I'm a single mom of two beautiful daughters. But I try to get to as much as I can. I heard that 1 million cups hit some record numbers.
Yes.
So shout out to the panel. So yeah, what about you? Where have you attended?
Yeah, so I volunteered for the pitch competition on Monday night, and then I went to 1 million cups Wednesday morning, and it was a huge turnout. I have never seen that many people at a 1 million cups before.
Wow.
Everyone was complaining that there was no coffee left. So
oh, that's bad business in startup land. Like, it really is. We run a few conferences around the nation, and coffee is mandatory.
Yeah.
Startup founders.
And then I did attend the Woman Up panel Wednesday evening, and that was awesome.
Yeah. What was a major takeaway?
Major takeaway, I think it was just, for me, I felt like really empowered just being in a group of women. We're all kind of the same, but different at the same time. And hearing everyone's unique and individual stories of how they got to be where they are is just, wow.
I know. It's such a thing, right? Like, we talk about representation and we talk about diversity and equity and inclusion, but just sometimes being in a room of like-minded individuals with like-minded experience, it does add value. It does add value. So I'm happy you had that experience.
Yeah, it was really great. And then I know there's a couple more events tonight, but I won't be able to make those ones.
Yeah, I'm done for the week as well. I coach volleyball for my daughter's fourth grade team. It's pretty cool. So it's the way I mix it up. With startup, you got to have those boundaries. And so I coach volleyball in North Omaha still. And that's how I keep things balanced. So
yeah, it's all about the work-life balance, especially, working with a lot of startups who are always, go, just being a new.
I've never worked with so many high achievers. Like, normally it was like one or two of us. No, startup land, everybody is a rock star. I do my best to try to keep up with Scott Henderson. Like, he trained me. He taught me all the things. And I was like, I got this. I was like, no, Scott, you're one of a kind, Mr. Henderson. So, but yeah, just so happy to be here.
What is the biggest thing you've learned from working with InMotion?
That's a great question. Absolutely no excuses. None. We do understand things come up, right? I'm a single mom. I get it. But Scott sets the standard for emotion that we're going to roll. When we say accelerator, we're not joking. It's game time. And, it's trial and fire, I believe is the saying. Excuse me if that's not right. But you get feedback and you get reps and you get work in, and then that's where we'll find things that work and things that don't work. So I think it's no excuses. I would just say no excuses. Like, things come up, yes, but a series of things, not as acceptable. So I think in startup, you just gotta just hit it, try things, throw spaghetti at the wall, try some stuff. So no excuses, but also being flexible and humble and coachable and all of the things.
Yeah. So next question, kind of a fun question, but working with all of these different startups and new founders, do you have a business idea?
Ooh, see, I'm going to hit you with the yes and no. So no, because I like to be a connector. I've always worked in human services. I just graduated with my master's in human services last year. Like, I really enjoy supporting other folks as they do the work. I don't want to be the direct worker anymore. I want to be an assist. Like, you go, girl, you go, boy. Like, I just want to be a cheerleader. But if I had a business, it would have to do with connecting talent. Like, it'll still be in the same vein of investing in people, investing in businesses, driving equity. So I have a consulting firm, and that's kind of where I like hang my entrepreneurship at. But it would be something close to connecting talent, developing talent, supporting entrepreneurs. So I'll always be startup adjacent, like always.
Always. Cool. So you wouldn't go back for any of the past careers you've had, back to engineering?
Listen, I'm going to tell you, I was a child abuse and neglect worker. I'm going to pass. Great people, great things that they're doing, but I'm going to pass. Education was cool. But startup is just faster and leaner and meaner. And I think once you get hit by that or bit by that startup bug, like it's pretty hard to go back to the normalcy and the in office. Like, people are going back to the office. I couldn't imagine. I'm going to be honest. I'm a little spoiled by Emotion and Gener8tor because we're flexible. We really, really try to be understanding and offer that flexibility. So I think I'll always be startup adjacent in some capacity. It's fun.
Yes.
It's like energizing. Like, if I ever have a hard day in my emails or a hard day in DEI, I always hit up Scott like, hey, what are you and the founders doing today?
Yes. Scott's always great to, just keep you in that vein. Let's see, I had it, now I forgot it. What is, your like biggest accomplishment that you've had throughout your career with InMotion, with startups?
I would not only say this is my biggest career milestone. Well, I'll say two. Sorry, I don't follow rules that well, but I'll give you two. One is we brought our Gener8tor skills program. So Scott, of course, has all of our business accelerators. So our G-Beta is with Scott, our venture studios with Scott, and our investment accelerator is with Scott. But we brought a different product line from our national network, and it specifically works on talent development with getting people that are unemployed and underemployed, getting them the support, getting them certificates. And my favorite thing is not only that they skill at home and work with the folks at home, and then they try to find a remote job, but we don't let go of that client, that participant, until they feel ready, right? So we try to be this everlasting network. Some people have left and came back and left and came back, but Scott is dominating business acceleration. But now we've cracked open some talent development initiatives in Lincoln, Nebraska, and that was for sure my biggest victory. Also, I just hit 40 under 40.
Congratulations.
For the Midlands Business Journal.
Congratulations.
And thank you so much. I'm from Omaha. I'm from Nebraska. So that one meant a lot to me. Like, I try to keep it humble, but for a Nebraska native, 40 under 40, this class of 2023 is a dynamic class. I have colleagues, I have friends, people I collaborate with. So it's just been, those are two things where I hit this year and I was just like, wow, wow, I know this stuff. So
Awesome. Well, that is all the time we have for today. Thank you so much for joining us.
thanks. That was great.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.